Hello and welcome back to English class. Evans tries O level, written by Colin Dexter, is an interesting story depicting how a prisoner called James Evans befools all the officers of the prison to escape under a well laid out plan. That's what we have seen throughout this lesson. And despite the best efforts of the prison authorities, Ivan is able to escape in this battle of wits between him and the prison authorities. He has the last laugh. So we have completed this lesson. Let's go through the theme of the lesson. What this story talks about the in this lesson and theme of this Ivan tries an O level. This story talks about a criminal Evans who is known as a prison breaker. The prison officials make huge efforts to keep Evans in prison, but he eventually escapes successfully. Though he outwits the officials, they marvel at his ingenuity and wisdom. And before going to the question answers of this lesson, let's do the recap of the summary once again. That Ivan is a prison breaker who is used to having the last laugh after breaking out prison thrice. He is in prison for the fourth time. He decides to break away and is again successful. He did so by deciding to have some sorts of academic qualification while serving his imprisonment. For this, he wanted to take all-level examination in German. A German teacher would come to teach him for 10 months in the prison. After that, examination is arranged in his cell itself. A prison called McLeary is called to invigilate for the exam. The governor himself supervises all security arrangements lest the prisoner might escape during the exam. Two prison officers were deputed to keep an eye on him. The prison left with all the paper after the exam got over. However, later it was discovered that Evans had escaped in the guise of the parson. Evans had badly wounded the parson behind the prison cell. The parson tells that he knew where Evans might be found. At once, he was sent in a police van to catch the prisoner. Since the parson was bleeding profusely, he was taken to a hospital on the way. Later, it was found that no wounded parson had ever come to the hospital. Now it was known and realized that Evans had not escaped in the guise of a parson, McLeary. He had stayed and befooled the entire prison itself. Prison staff. The blood flowing from his head had not been his own blood. It was rather pig's blood that McLeary had cleverly managed to bring in. Similarly, McLeary was not that parson. The real parson McLeary was tied by some man in his room since morning. Towards the end of the story, the governor got hold of Evans in a hotel room and cuffed. Evans was sent away with prison officer in the prison van. Once again, Evans got the better of the governor. Both the prison officer and the prison van had been part of the plan mastered by Evans' friends. Evans had been able to escape from prison 3 times earlier also. Once again, he became a free bird. Due to this reason, the prison officers used to call him Evans the Break. So, now let's discuss the extra questions which can come in your exams. So, the first question, how did McLeary explain the semi-inflated rubber ring in his suitcase? How was the ring ultimately used? Answer, McLeary carried a brown suitcase with him into the exam room, which consisted of all that he could need for his examination duties. However, when asked to explain what the semi-inflated rubber ring was for, he told the authorities that he suffered from hemorrhoids and therefore needed the ring to sit on, as he was not comfortable sitting for long period. Question number 2. Who do you think has outwitted the Evans or the governor? How? Answer. Undoubtedly, Evans outwitted the governor in the end. The governor, after decoding the numbers given in the question paper, was able to recapture Evans, but the latter was again able to give a slip into the prison officials. Question number 3. What clues did the answer sheet of Evans provide to the governor? I repeat question. What clues did the answer sheet of Evans provide to the governor? Answer. The clues left on the question paper were actually part of a well laid out plan. It was meant to mislead the police and kind of mock at them. The clue pointed out that Evans had hit McLeary, though it was Evans who was impersonating McLeary. This also made police look for Evans in Newsbury when he was in fact at Hotel Golden Lion in Chipping Norton. Question number 4. How did the governor react to the 2 phone calls he received in quick succession? The answer. Governor reacted sharply but in a positive way. He was informed by the Secretary for Modern Language that there was a correction slip to be informed to the candidate. He allows and the correction is explained to Evans. He doesn't doubt anything. Now the question number 5. Who was Carter? What did the governor ask him to do? Answer. Carter was the detective superintendent. The governor told him to take McLeary along with him. He took McLeary with him to look for the absconder. The governor then asked who had seen Evans out at the prison gate. Mr. Stephen told him that it was he who had taken him out. Next question. What were the contents of the small brown suitcase that McLeary carried? I repeat, what were the contents of the small brown suitcase that McLeary carried? Answer. The contents of the small brown suitcase that McLeary carried were a sealed question paper envelope, a yellow invigilation form, a special authentication card from the examination board, a paper knife, a Bible, a copy of the Church Times, and a small semi-inflated rubber ring. Now question number 7. What did the detective superintendent inform the governor about Evans? I repeat, what did the detective superintendent inform the governor about Evans? And answer. McLeary had spotted Evans drive off along Elsfield Way. They had got the number of the car and had given chase immediately, but they had lost track and assumed that Evans must have come back into the city. Question number 8. Who do you think made the call to announce a correction in the question paper? What was its purpose? Answer. One of Evans' accomplices would have called impersonating as the assistant secretary from the examination board. The real purpose was to include information about the escape plan. Question number 9. What would the governor have done to securely bring Evans back to the prison from the Golden Lion? Answer. The governor could have brought the police force with him. Another thing that he could have done was to travel in the van that was taking Evans back to the prison. he should have also checked the credentials of the official escorting him to the prison. Question number 10. How does Evans escape from the jail? Answer. Evans decided to appear for O-level examination in German. For the same, the governor sought permission from the board. McLeary, the parson from St. Mary, Max came to invigilate. In reality, he was an accomplice of Evans and had imprisoned the real parson. In the cell, the two exchanged places. This was made possible because Evans had covered himself in a blanket. At the end of the exam, Evans walks out of a free man disguised as the parson. Now, we will discuss the other questions. The next questions are so, do you agree between crime and punishment it is mainly a battle of wits? So, you can write the answer. Yes, we can say. So, if we go by the story, we all know that each battle is won by the strong person. In the story, the whole war was based on the mental ability and not the physical ability. Prison officer had taken away all sorts of weapons from Evans so that he may not find any way to escape. But Evans used his tricky brain and managed to escape. Now, next question. What could be the governor have done secularly bring back Evans to prison when he caught him at the Golden Line? Does that final act of foolishness really prove that he was just another good for a gullible governor? Wow, that was all. I repeat the question. This question is a lengthy question. What could be the governor have done securely bring back Evans to prison when he caught him at the Golden Lion? Does the final act of foolishness really prove that he was just another good for a gullible governor? That was all. You can write the answer in this way. In order to correct all the previous mistakes, the governor should have accompanied Evans himself to the prison, but he trusted the fake prison officer and the driver, who were none other than but friends of Evans. This was not his first mistake. He had done such mistakes in the past also. For example, he never verified about the German teacher who was later found to be Evans' friend, not even McLeary, who was also one of the Evans Jackson that was able to track Evans through the correction slip. In order to show himself the smartest person, he thought of taking the whole situation in his own hands and took his friends to be the real prison officer and the driver without even verifying their identity and let Evans escape once again. So yes, we can say that he was good for a giggle. Next question. While we condemn the crime, we are sympathetic to the criminal. Is this the reason why prison staff often develop a soft corner for those in custody? We have seen that while we condemn the crime, we are sympathetic to the criminal in this story for the Evans. Is this the reason why prison staff often develop a soft corner for those in custody? So I can write the answer. Yes, it is right that everyone condemns the crime, but when we see a criminal bearing punishment, our perception towards him changes. So he is with the prison officers who was with the passage of time develops a soft corner for them. This can be seen in the story as well. Jackson, who was a strict officer, also let Evans wear his hat because he considered to be his lucky charm. Whereas Evans was very tricky person who had already discovered the emotional side of the Jackson. Reflecting on the story, what did you feel about Evans having the last laugh? Repeat the question. Reflecting on the story, what did you feel about Evans having the last laugh? Answer. Ivan was a very cunning person who smartly devised his plan to escape from the jail. He kept on misleading the police and the governor with false evidences so that nobody could reach him. When governor tracks him in the hotel and feels satisfied about his being able to catch his prey, Evans makes up another plan to escape, and this he did again with the help of his friends who impersonate as the prison officer and driver and takes him away again in front of the eyes of the governor. So we can say that Evans had the right to laugh as he managed everything very well. Next question. This question is also very lengthy. When Stephens come back to the cell, he jumps to a conclusion and the whole missionary blindly goes by his assumption without even checking the identity of the injured McCleary. Does this show how hasty conjectures can prevent one from seeing the obvious? How is the criminal able to predict such negligence? So you can write, when Stephens come back to the cell, he sees McCleary lying in a pool of blood. He was badly hit on his head. The blood was dripping on his beard and clothes. Stephens was a new recruit. He was not having such experience of such tricks, and so when he saw an injured man in the cell, he, instead of paying attention to the identity of the injured person, mistook him as the real McCleary. He at once came to the conclusion that he escorted Evans to the gates. So the story spread like that, and everyone else in the prison also believed it to be so. Evans was being a cunning criminal, knew the weaknesses of all the officers. That is why he knitted his plan in a way that things went well in his favor. Now, short answers, question answers. So here, the first question, who was James Roderick Evans? Why was he put in the Oxford prison? First question of the short answers, who was James Roderick Evans? Why was he put in the Oxford prison? So answer, Evan was a congenital kleptomaniac. He was often caught and sent to jail, but he was very clever and managed to escape every time. He had gang of friends who helped him in it. Next question, who was Evans' presence in the prison felt by the authorities? Answer, Ivan was a smart, tricky, intelligent, and most popular prisoner at Oxford jail. Even the jail authorities admired his skills but were worried about the possibilities of his escape. He had many good friends among the prisoners. The governor himself was concerned for him and at times behaved to be Ivan's fan. Next question. Why did the governor apply for an examination for Evans? Answer. Evans was a prisoner in the Oxford prison. He convinced the authorities that he was genuinely interested in learning German. He was taught by a German teacher for about 6 months. When the teacher said that Evans was prepared for an all-level exam, the governor of the prison applied to the examination board for his exam. Next question. Who met Evans on the eve of the examination? What did he say? Answer. It was Evans' German teacher who shook him by the hand at 8:30 p.m. on Monday, 7 June. They met in the heavily guarded recreational block just across from D Wing. The teacher wished him good luck in German, which Evans failed to understand. The teacher observed that he had a remote chance of getting through. Evans remarked that he might surprise everybody. These remarks proved quite meaningful and prophetic. Next question. What were the precautions taken for the smooth conduct of the examination? Answer. For smooth conduct examination, various precautionary measures were taken. All sharp instruments like razor, nail, scissors were removed. The governor's senior prison officer Jackson and Officer Stephen were put on duty. A special invigilator was arranged. A microphone was fitted in the prison cell where the examination was to be conducted. Next, who was McLeary? The Reverend McLeary was a parson at St. Mary Manx, a monastery. He was supposed to invigilate Evans' examination at Oxford prison. He was about to leave his residence for the prison when two of Evans' friends entered his room, gagged him until Evans had escaped from the prison. Why was Evans particular about keeping his hat on his head during his exam? Repeat the question. Why was Evans particular about keeping his hat on his head during his exam? Answer. Evans wore a bobble hat at the time of his examination. He was asked to remove the hat. Evans pleaded to let stay it because he believed that it was his lucky charm. In fact, he had hidden some of the makeup materials in his hat, which was the reason he didn't want to remove it. Next question. What instruction did the invigilator issue to the examinee before the examination? I repeat, what instruction did the invigilator issue to the examinee before the examination? Answer. He asked the examinee if he had got a watch. He would tell him when to start and again when he had 5 minutes left. He asked him to write the name of the paper 0211 in the top left hand corner and his index number 313 in the top right hand corner. Just below that he was to write his center number 271. Next question. The examination was scheduled to begin at 9:15 a.m. but it started 25 a.m. Why was a delay in starting the exam? Answer. The examination started 10 minutes late due to security reasons. Governor wanted to search Mr. McLeary and his belongings. He had doubts that Mr. McCleary would have taken something dangerous with him innocently, like a paper knife or that sort. Evans could take advantage of any such thing and keep McCleary as a hostage. He might try to run away from the prison. Next question: why did the governor think of risking Miss McCleary? McCleary was the invigilator of the examination and he was to sit inside Evans' cell while the latter wrote the exam. The governor had made sure that Evans had been thoroughly frisked and was nothing to fear about that. But when he thought about the possibility of McCleary carrying a paper knife or that sort, he feared Evans would make use of that and escape by holding the parson is hostage. Next question: what were the contents of the small brown suitcase McCleary carried? Answer: it had a sealed question paper envelope, a yellow invigilation form, a special authentication card from the examination board, a paper knife, a Bible, a current copy of the Church Times. Except for the last two articles, the rest were related to this his morning duties from the examination board. Now next. Now next question. What was the intention behind the call from the examination board? Answer: it was one of the Evans' friend who made the call from examination board, and this call was primarily meant for confirming the beginning time of the exam in order to calculate the end of the exam. The equally important reason behind this call was to misguide the governor into Hotel Golden Lion to arrest Evans from there and thereby to make the escape altogether safer. Next question: what had McCleary brought with him to the prison to help Evans escape? Answer: Evans' friend, dressed up like McCleary, had brought some very useful articles for Evans' escape. He had worn an extra clerical collar and a clerical front. In his bag, he had carried a semi-inflated rubber tube filled with blood. He had also carried paper scissors, even though it was frisked by the prison authorities. What request did Evans make about an half an hour before the end of the examination? Answer: that Evans made a polite request if he could put a blanket around his shoulders, as it was a bit chilly there. McCleary told Evans to be quick about it. A minute later, Stephens was surprised to see a grey blanket wrapped around Evans' shoulders. And next question: what made the governor aware that someone from the examination board was involved in the escape of Evans? Answer: the question paper had the instruction that had to move from Elsfield Way to the Headington around about. The examination board was situated at Elsfield Way. Then he remembered the call and the correction slip. All these things verified that someone from the examination board was involved in the escape plan. What information? Next question. What information did the governor get from the hospital about McCleary? Answer: the governor was aware that McCleary was admitted to the Red Cliff Hospital. In order to know about his well-being, he rang up the hospital authorities. It was told that an ambulance did go to Elsfield Way, but they didn't find him there. The governor concluded that it was Evans who ran away from the cell, not McLeary. Now next question. Why the prisoner was angry with the prison officers after Evans had escaped? Answer. The governor was angry with Stephens because it was he who saw Evans off safely out of the prison gate. Stephens told him that it was the governor who ordered him to do so. These words infuriated the governor since he had not rung him at all. The governor was angry with Jackson because he did not search Evans' cell properly, and Evans had somehow concealed a beard, dog collar, and the other things to go a clerk in his cell. It was his carelessness that helped Evans to escape. So that's all for now. Now we have completed the lesson. Summary also done, theme of the lessons, everything we have done, question answer also discussed. So students, keep reading and keep practicing, and bye from me.